cannot wait for you to meet, as my mama said, these youngins. I can't wait for you to meet them. It's time to kick off our new series, Taking Care of Business, highlighting companies like these, paying it forward with some great entrepreneurs. We first met Brian last year when he shared the story behind his pasta company. It is thriving. Glad to hear that. And now he is a mentor. We're going to talk all of it about it in just a moment. But first, here's their story. It's the chickpea pasta that is disrupting the food industry.
Our mission is to make nutritious foods more accessible.
Banza co-founder Brian Rudolph went from testing a homemade recipe out of his apartment in 2013 to developing the fastest growing pasta brand in the country, now sold in 5,000 stores nationwide.
Thank you very much.
When Brian appeared on GMA last year, he had an important message to share.
If you can find a mentor who will push you towards the next step, it makes a huge difference.
Months later, yogurt giant Chobani selected Banza to participate in their inaugural Chobani Food Incubator Program, designed to support the development of young brands like Banza and startup companies like Misfit Juicery.
At Misfit, we're on a mission to fight food waste. 20 billion pounds of produce go unharvested or unsold every year in the US, and a lot of that's because they're just misfit sizes or shapes, and so we're making delicious cold-pressed juice out of those misfit fruits and veggies.
Brian is now helping Misfit grow their business, the power of mentorship coming full circle.
Phil and I started the company when we were 21 years old in his college kitchen at Georgetown. And we had no experience in food. We didn't really have experience in anything.
It wasn't exactly the easiest process, as I'm sure you've experienced. I want to be there for them because there were so many people who were there for me.
Look how he's grown. Banza founder Brian Rudolph and Misfit Juicery co-founders Ann Yang and Phil Wong. Love having you all here. Love what you're doing. I just want to cry, because when you were here, you were just starting out, and Banza is doing bonkers. You know how I feel about this product.
Thank you so much.
How do you keep it going forward?
Oh, I think that we have this really strong mission, and it's to change the way that people think about food for the better. And I think that's one of the things that pushes us to keep trying.
And tell them how it is better than traditional pasta. How much more?
Yeah.
Protein, fiber.
So it has double the protein, 4 times the fiber, and nearly half the net carbs of traditional pasta. And so we think it's the next generation of pasta.
Oh my gosh, I tell you, because I was having trouble as I was getting older with wheat, and it really has helped a great deal. And I just absolutely love it. Hey guys, hey. So how does this work out? How has he helped you, Phil?
Yeah, so Brian's been a huge mentor of ours. We met him through the Chobani Incubator. And I think the biggest thing for us has been showing us how to build a team, because Brian has a really awesome culture at Banza, and a lot of attention gets focused on us as entrepreneurs, but it's really the team and the culture we build that creates the companies and products we have here.
And I got a little ahead of myself. When we say misfit, and the reason the audience is so quiet, because they're eating, and they're drinking the juice, so they're being very quiet. But explain about Misfit, because it's every bit as nutritional, but aesthetically, it's not pleasing, and so it doesn't get sold.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So at Misfit, we're on a mission to fight food waste, because we let 20 billion pounds of produce go unharvested and sold every year in the US.
How much?
20 billion.
Wow.
So look at this. An apple might be a little bit dimpled like this, or a carrot, carrot has 3 legs, right? And so farmers can't sell that to a grocery store. But of course, it's nutritious, it's delicious, and we put it into our juice. Ann and I started the company as college students. 2 years ago, we had nothing but 4 crates of ugly peaches and a borrowed blender. And now we're well on our way to becoming Misfit Foods and proving to people that it's cool to be different in food and in life.
I wonder if that, because if you went into, as a consumer, if you went in, you would not buy this in the store. But it's every bit, it wouldn't even be in the store to begin with. So what advice, Mr. Rudolph, are you imparting a wise one now? Yes. Yes. What are you sharing with them?
So I think there are a lot of things. 3 years ago, I was 23 and had no experience in food, and I think there are a lot of things that we did right, but also a few mistakes we made along the way. And working with grocery stores can be challenging. And so as up-and-coming food companies that want to change the way that people think about food for the better, we're the underdogs, and we need to help each other. So if we can be helpful in helping Misfit succeed, that's a huge win.
Well, it's a wonderful, I'm seeing, community of entrepreneurs and wanting to help one another, because both of your groups, you started in college, you started in your apartments, both of you, And what has it meant to have someone like Brian who can kind of navigate the way for you a little bit?
Absolutely. Brian and his entire team have been so helpful, both in personal and professional ways. We're about to launch a rebrand with Whole Foods, and he's really helped us think about how to pop on shelf and how to make that opportunity a successful one. But more importantly, I think there are a lot of ups and downs to entrepreneurship that people don't think about. There are good days and there are bad days, and having someone walk you through that and really talk you through the challenges that you go through means the world to us. And I think for Phil and I, we really think that entrepreneurship is about learning how to build a community well. And for Banza and Banza and Misfit, like, our company has been built upon 1,000 favors by people we love. So we really appreciate the support.
And I can say this firsthand, both of the products are excellent. I mean, you do have, I mean, do you all agree with eating and drinking? I mean, really. So it's wonderful in that regard. So, Brian, if somebody's watching and they have a startup company, what is the major advice that you give to them?
Yeah, so especially as a young entrepreneur, you have to admit that there's probably a lot that you don't know. There's a lot that you don't know you don't know. And so don't be afraid to reach out to people who have done what you hope to do and ask them for advice, because chances are somebody helped them too, and they're going to be more than excited to pay it forward.
Well, it's so wonderful that you and everyone at Banza paying it forward. And also, thank you very much, because you're making good, healthy food accessible, and also you're environmentally conscious in the things that you're doing. And it's really appreciate what everyone's doing. Good luck to you. And you're going to be in Whole Foods. You guys have a big Whole Foods thing coming up?
In New York City and DC.
All right. Everyone in our audience going home with a box of Banza and some Misfit Juice.